Finding ways to be financially savvy is a smart move, and knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want, like that dream home or new ride, is a great feeling. That's why the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you save when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Did you know 39% of teen drivers admit to texting while driving? Even scarier, those who text are more likely to speed and run red lights. Shockingly, 94% know it's dangerous but do it anyway. As a parent, you can't always be in the car, but you can stay connected to their safety with Greenlight Infinity's driving reports. Monitor their driving habits, see if they're using their phone, speeding, and more. These reports provide real data for meaningful conversations about safety. Plus, with weekly updates, you can track their progress over time. Help keep your teens safe. Sign up for Greenlight Infinity at greenlight.com/podcast.
Do you need some new gym gear and want to give back to the community at the same time? Aperio Athletics has you covered with 5% of all profits going towards the Canadian Mental Health Association. Sign up for their rewards program and receive $5 off your next order. Use code JUNGLE15 to get 15% off your first order. I got this brand new hoodie sent to me from Aperio Athletics, and I am absolutely loving it. I've been wearing it every single day. The quality is incredible, very nice and warm. It's perfect. And I'm just absolutely loving it. They sent me a shirt too, also very nice and breathable material. It's very high quality stuff. So thanks to Joel over at Aperio Athletics for that. And visit the Aperio Athletics online store at aperioathletics.com to claim the benefits and rewards waiting for you. Be sure to follow them on Instagram and TikTok at Aperio_athletics to be the first to know of all the latest product releases and exclusive offers.
All right, Owen, you may have noticed the lack of ads in the middle of our podcast and mostly on our posts, our reels and everything. So the Jungle Hockey Podcast is looking for sponsors. We're looking for guys that are willing to pay a little bit of money and put your logo on, our Instagram posts, our reels, and maybe even have me or Owen read off an ad roll in the middle of our episode. So local businesses and everything, we're not going to charge a crazy amount of money. We're just looking to see if there's anyone available, anyone, kind of interested and listens to the pod and that wants to, get their brand out there, get their business out there, whatever, advertise a product, a skate shop, anything, really anything. Me and Owen have discussed this a little bit, and we're willing to, cut up a little bit of time on our podcast and throw a logo in on a reel, on a post or whatever. So, if you're interested, you guys can reach out to us at junglehockeypodcast@gmail.com, or obviously DMs on any social, preferably probably Instagram. I think Owen is the best.
Yeah, definitely the best, but realistically anything works. I would say like sending us a direct message for inquiries would be the easiest, but you can reach at our email. We got the link tree in our bios on everything, so there's multiple ways to contact us. It's not hard to get in touch with us.
Okay. That's pretty much all from us. We're obviously excited to work with you if you decide to, reach out to us at all. But thanks for listening. Enjoy the episode.
Our next guest was selected in the third round of the 2013 NHL Entry Draft. He went on to play NHL games for the Minnesota Wild, New Jersey Devils, San Jose Sharks, and Chicago Blackhawks. We're extremely excited to welcome to the Jungle Hockey Podcast, Kurtis Gabriel. Kurtis, thank you so much for being here.
Namaste, fellas. Hello to all your listeners. Really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I gotta say, the best setup that we have ever had for a guest.
That's insane. That background.
I love it. I'm just trying to pick up on everything that's here. So it looks amazing.
I appreciate it, man. It's what's flowing through me, as I think what my younger self would have seen and been like, okay, I saw this guy stream. His office looks sick. I want to listen to what he's got to talk about. That's kind of the idea.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're hitting that market pretty perfectly, to be honest, based on what I see back there. So
Oh.
That looks awesome. Well, I guess we'll just jump right in here then.
maybe kind of just give our listeners a bit of a background, a bit about yourself, and then we'll kind of go a bit more to your roots in hockey, but maybe just kind of a quick summary about who you are and what you're all about.
Wow, that could be answered a lot of different ways. But for the Jungle Hockey Podcast, and I know we're going to go through my career and stuff, let me go back to that hockey player only mindset. So from that perspective, born in Newmarket, Ontario, born and raised bleeding blue for the Leafs. Couldn't help it. They were never that good, but Darcy Tucker was ripping around, nailing people. Matt Sundin was ripping clap bombs from the blue line in overtime for his 500th goal. Like, it was just awesome. So grew up playing every sport, but my parents were very much the summertime sports, basketball, baseball. I guess basketball's not, but squash, tennis, like outdoor football, things like that, and soccer. And I just couldn't help it. I just liked hockey, and nobody knew why, because nobody else in my family played, but it just spoke to me, man. It just spoke to me. The intensity, the adrenaline, the prestige with the girls, whatever it was the coolest thing around, right? It was just the most badass thing. So to me, nothing ever compared. So that definitely was my focus early on, and watching Hockey Night in Canada growing up. Man, there's just nothing like it, as you guys know.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, I think you touched on the majority of the reasons why people want to get into hockey at a young age, and then it just kind of sticks from beyond there. So that's perfect.
Awesome. Yeah. So maybe just tell us a bit about you first starting hockey. So like you said, your parents hockey wasn't really the biggest thing in your family. So did you have any role models, or is it literally just a connection to the game? And then what was kind of your youth hockey like before you ended up playing junior?
Yeah. I can just remember loving like Sundin, Darcy Tucker, Jerome McGinley,
Right.
Joe Sakic at the Olympics wearing 91 with that big goal he scored to kind of finish it. Those were kind of my guys I looked up to as a younger kid. But yeah, starting out, I mean, playing all the other sports, I was hitting it like one of those balls that you could touch the button, it would shoot the wiffle ball up in the air, and I was hitting it at like 1 year old. I was walking at 8 months, so sports was just bred into me. It was my religion, right? Yeah. And I think I went on the pond for the first time at 5 years old, and then my mom said, let's get you some figure skating lessons. If we're going to put you in hockey, maybe we should let you learn how to skate a little bit. So I thought that was kind of weird, but listen to mom. So I'm 5 years old, getting my first 2 badges of figure skating in the summer before I go play house league for the first year. So Team Red, 5 years old, and it's house league time, and it was a blast. It was good, but second year was even better. Team Orange, we had a team song, "Who Let the Dogs Out." It was freaking awesome, like playing with the boys. Awesome. And then that was 6, and then 7 years old, Super 7 select, first year rep hockey.
Nice.
Love that, the Newmarket Redmond. And then to 8 years old, I went to Single A. I think I stayed at Single A for 9 years old. And then I remember my dad just being like, picking me up at school one day and being like, "We're going to try for another AAA team." And I'm like, "Dad, what are you talking about? I'm not good enough to play for the York Simcoe Express out here. That's like a big team in our area."
Simcoe, yeah.
Right? You guys have heard of it even being out west.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they were stacked, like so stacked. Barclay Goodrow, Dan Catenacci, Ryan Murphy, you go down the list. And I was just thinking like, there's no way. I've already tried out. And my dad goes, "Kurtis, they're not changing that team. They've won every game the last 2 years. We're going to a different team. You're going to travel for the Richmond Hill Stars, new AAA team for them." I'm like, okay, I guess. But I head out there, and I just felt like this anxiety, this stress. Like, I don't know if I can do this, but I remember looking up in the stands and just seeing my dad, and it's like I could just breathe in his confidence in me, and I just got lost out there. So I fell into the moment, and the coach, I remember meeting him after. He's like, "Who the hell are you?" I thought I scouted everybody. Like, "How are you a Single A player? Like, welcome to the team." I'm like, "Holy shit, here we go, boys." So yeah, I'm thinking that's how I'm going to be happy in life. I'm going to chase this hockey dream. Me and my dad, we're going to see how it goes. And then 2 weeks later, he jumped in front of a train.
No way.
Oh my
God. All that confidence gone.
Wow.
And I went from being like the top guy on the team to barely playing that year. And my mom said, "Screw this. We're going back home to just have fun, play hockey again." So
wow.
From 10
that's
to...
something we did not know about your story at all.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay.
That's where this guy started to form. That's right why he's up there, because from 10 to 15, the anger just started building in me, man.
Yeah.
Just started building in me. And there's other things that added to that anger, believe me, that I'll reveal in my book that are a little more taboo. And that's why my book's going to be pretty raw and real. But I just had fun playing single A and double A and played every other sport year round. And I remember at 16, I'm ready to hang it up. I just played double A, obviously not on any OHL draft radar. It might as well be the freaking going to Pluto playing in the OHL for me. I was like, there's no chance of anything. And I'm ready to stop playing. My mom's just like, why don't you go try out for the Newmarket Hurricanes junior A team? And I'm like, why? She's like, why not? Your season just ended. I know you're thinking about not playing again. You're in shape. It's $50. All your buddies are going out. You're just as good as them. Okay, Mom. And I remember going out there and I walked into that arena that day and just something just washed over me. Like I'd always been a smart player. I'd always been really competitive, but I was tall and lanky. I couldn't really skate. I didn't really have good hands, but I cared and I thought the game well. So I just rose to the level of the occasion. And again, the same kind of situation at 10. Now at 16, I go into the office. The coach is like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, okay. He's like, well, I can't take a double A 16-year-old right on to junior A. There's no chance. Go play major midget triple A for a year. I walked out of the room and I'm like, this is what I'm going to fucking do. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
They kind of reignited that.
From that day on, I was playing in my head in the NHL. Like it wasn't like a conscious thing. It was like a subconscious thing, like a deep belief where in the top of my mind, I'm like, let's just have fun and take this as far as we can. But deep down, and I'll get into that in my book. So I go play AAA and I remember the coach there going, yeah, I've heard you're trying out for junior A teams, but kid, you're not going to make it skating circles around people or scoring goals. You're going to have to hit. And when you hit people that hard, you're going to have to fight. And I said, where do I fucking sign the contract? Because I'm already staying there in my head. I've never been in a fight off the ice. My mom's a teacher. I'm a goody two-shoes, perfect report cards behavior. But now I'm going to be a fighter? Okay, that's what it takes. And, dude, I went back to the junior A tryouts the next year, signed in 2 days. I was running everybody over because I knew what my role was now. And the Hurricanes were like, yep, here we go. It's your draft year, by the way, for the NHL. And I'm like, okay, I'm just happy to be here. My mom's like crying, like, oh my God, he made the Hurricanes. And then they go, well, we know you like to train. How about you go skate at our junior C affiliate? You're not there to try out. It's their tryouts, but it's just free ice for you. And I'm like, absolutely. Ice is expensive. Let me go out there.
Yeah.
And I could have dogged it. And I could have been like, I'm the big dog. I'm on the junior A team. You guys are scrubs. But I played it like Darcy Tucker would. Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals. I just went all out. And I was just running everyone over. I scored 3 goals. I got to fight another kid named Kurtis with a C who I'd played up growing against. And I broke his face and broke his nose, whatever. And I step off the ice after like screaming at them and like laughing at them. And there's this short, stout little dude. And he's just like, he opens the door and he's like, do you want to try out for the OHL's Owen Sound Attack? And I'm like, what?
Dude, this is crazy. The
like,
amount of...
what are you talking about? I just made junior A. Like, get out of here, man. And I like barge past him and I shower up. My mind's running and I walk out to the hallway and he's waiting for me in the lobby. And I'm like, he's like, your mom's not around. I probably shouldn't be getting your number, but like, here, give me your number. Go talk to your mom about it. You're going to come try it. I'm like, okay, man, whatever. And I go out there. My mom's like, how'd it go? And I'm like, shh, get in the car. Get in the car. Fucking try out in the OHL. And we're just laughing and laughing and laughing. And
dude,
it's crazy, man.
This might be a deep question, but how do you think you got set up for this stuff? Like, is this just God setting you on the right path, or is this like what is this? Like, this is like the most you almost say it's fluky, but it's like, what is the power pushing you towards this kind of end goal? Like, what do you think?
What a question, brother.
Dude.
That's the end. If you asked me at the top to say who's Kurtis Gabriel and give us an intro, I gave you the hockey version. You just asked the question where I give you the opposite end. So let me just fly forward to that point right now. Stop the story.
Well, we can jump back and forth.
There has never been a coincidence in this universe, fellas. There's never been one coincidence. What's for you cannot miss you. It's illogical to think anything different. And I told you I was raised with zero religion, zero spirituality. Sports was my thing. And I hated all that shit. I thought people went to church were weirdos. I thought it was all whack. I thought science mattered. You die, you rot in the ground, and that's it. But as you'll see him, like, you think the story's crazy. This is just the hockey shit, brother. All the shit
Exactly.
that I haven't said about it and that'll be in the book makes
Yeah.
your brain go crazy. So without revealing too much of that, I basically put such an intention on this with my later find out neurodivergency and all the things that have going on in my brain and all the trauma I go through, that I just put everything into this. And when you put everything into something, regardless if it's from ego, which it was at the time, you can manifest anything. It's this law of attraction thing. So yeah, I equal parts created this and equal parts it just came to me, right? It's this creation in action. And
Right.
that's how I just knew. Like when I told you I was already playing the NHL in my head, I just knew. I don't know how, I just knew. And when you believe something that deeply, it's not like I wanted to be an astronaut or I'm a giraffe that wants to climb a rock cliff. Like, it made sense. I'm a hockey player. I could do this. Like, let's go. It was in my realm of possibility, even though it seemed crazy, but fuck it. Let's go for it. And that's what happened. So everything that's happened has pushed me exactly to sitting here right in this moment with talking to you guys, looking back on this story to now be doing what I'm doing now, but we'll get into that later. So let's zoom back into the story.
Back in the story, right?
Yeah.
And I just start training harder. I'm like, what do I got to do to like make sure I can really turn this into a career? So, you know, me and mom are looking up everything. I'm skills coach now. She's forking out the money. I'm working out at the gym, lifting weights. I'm doing everything I can. And I missed one important part, which later is my whole point of why I'm building this office. But in the moment, it was just get better physically at hockey. And I remember getting up to 190 pounds that summer, 6'3", 190 now. I'm 17. And the Hurricanes are like, don't go up to Owen Sound. We heard you got invited. You're going to make that team. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. But I'm like, yeah, I am. And I go up there and I made sure that I knew I was never strong in the gym with upper body stuff. So I wasn't going to win the fitness testing, but I knew there was the beep test and I knew I could shatter that thing because that was my thing running. I could push myself harder than anyone. And I made sure that I was in wicked shape for it. I got through rookie camp, first in line, running everybody over, doing all the little things. But then that beep test, I just showed out. And, you know, most guys would stop in their heat at like level 12. I ran to like 16, 17 by myself and like collapsed into the grass. And they're like, yep, that kid's probably on the team. With all the hitting and all the fighting I was doing and chasing everybody around. So next thing you know, I have a contract sitting on my lap in my mom's minivan in the parking lot for the OHL. Me and mom are both looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on? But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, duh, this is happening. So they're like, yeah, you got to, if you sign that, you lose your NCAA eligibility. I'm like, oh, my mom's like, shit. But they're like, don't worry. Every year you play in the OHL, you can go to Canadian University. And mom's like, okay, at least that's covered. So they're like, go call somebody you know to get some advice. I'm like, who? I don't have an agent. I don't have an advisor. I'm a fucking nobody. And so I called Keith Acton, former NHLer of 1,000 games who had trained at my gym in Stouffville. And he's just like, kid, do you have any interest from any NCAA teams? And I'm like, I haven't even played a game at junior A. He's like, well, you have a contract for the OHL in front of you, the best league in the world. Pretty easy decision. So signed the contract, told me to go home, pack my shit, was back in 2 days, had a little going away party. All my friends are like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't even know. It's like, thank God it's only 2.5 hours away. They're like, most guys, as you guys know, everybody knows they're going to move on and they're going to be good. They've always been good. But they're just like, we knew you played hockey, but like, where are you going? I'm like, this place called Owen Sound. Apparently it snows a lot. It's only 2.5 hours away. So yeah, I go up there and then, man, what a contrast. You want to talk about high to low? I mean, I didn't know I made the best team in the league that year and won our first championship in franchise history. So
yeah,
I barely played.
That's what I was going to say is that I saw on when we did some research before, you won the league your first year in the O.
Got the ring right here, boys. Didn't do a damn thing, but got it right here.
Let's do that thing. Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Holy smokes.
Didn't do a damn thing. Just watched Joey Hishman, Colorado first round pick. We called him Hishman the Magician. He just dominated. The team was sick. Andrew Shaw, Jordan Binnington in net. My good buddy.
Dude, you still played 40 games, man.
Believe me, brother, it wasn't more than 3 shifts a game.
Okay.
Like, it was nothing. It was nothing. I was just sitting there cold as ice going, why the hell am I here? But I took the opportunity, man. I got my foot in the door. And that coach, Mark Reeds, he loved me. And I just put in the time, man. I'd be out there after practice for 2 hours. There'd be this much snow on the ice, and he'd stay out there with me, working on my feet, working on my hands. Everybody'd be gone from the rink. The lights are going out. He'd drive me home for dinner. Like, did it all the time and just put in the work, put in the work, put in the work. And I remember we got to the Mem Cup. I'm one of the schmelts. There's 3 of us in a room because they don't want to pay for an extra room. I'm sleeping on a cot every night. And I'm just pissed the fuck off. Like, I'm like, I want to get back to training. Like, I got to get ready for next season. I don't care if these guys are going to fucking win anymore. Like, I don't even do anything here. So I'm down in the hotel lobby gym, just pounding weights at 9 p.m. And that's where I built that work ethic of the coaches coming in from dinner and their beers being like, look at that fucking psycho in there. You know, so I built that work ethic because I just knew I was going to play there. If I'm going to play there, I have to do the work. And that led to barely playing that season, not even a hair on my face. I get invited to fucking NHL training camp with the Phoenix Coyotes.
Oh my God.
So I went from sitting on my bed at 16, ready to hang it up, to before I turned, just after turning 18, I'm in an NHL camp.
Did anything lead up to that, or that just fell on your lap again?
Literally just from being 6'4" now, 190 pounds, and they just heard, you know, this kid works his ass off, and who is he? So you know how scouts, they all know who comes into the league, right? And they keep tabs on kids, but they're like, A, who is this kid? B, all we hear about is a psychopath. And they're like, yep, and yep. And they're like, okay. So Jeff Toohey was a scout and really plugged into the OHL. So he invited me, and I went there. And unfortunately, before going there, you go to OHL training camp first, and I got concussed by my future line mate. And I just said, I'm not telling anybody. That was my first real concussion. I have to go. I'm not going to NHL training camp. Right. So I went and did as well as I could, but I knew I couldn't fight anybody or hit anybody, or I'd be like toast. Right. So I got to like one of the last cuts, and they almost apparently signed me, even though I didn't really play physical. I think if I had been able to play physical, maybe I would have got a contract then. But I came back to the OHL now thinking I'm hot shit. Look at me. I'm all sick. Nope. I hadn't even really had a rookie season yet. I hadn't really actually played through a rookie season at 18. And we have a new coach who, goddamn, did I hate. And I started fighting for the first time. They put in the 10 fight rule, and I think I got beat up 9 out of the 10 times pretty much.
Really?
And I remember going into the exit meeting at the end of that year, I sat down with this coach I did not like, and he goes, you don't have a spot on this team next year. You have to come back and re-earn everything. And I went, holy fuck. But it's already playing there in my head, so I was like, say less. Like, you want to challenge me, buddy? Okay, well, find out. Fuck around and find out. And I went home, and I said, Mom, I got to take this to another level. I went to train with Gary Roberts. Leveled up everything. I went and trained with an MMA fighter, a gym owner in Newmarket, Ontario.
I was just going to comment on the gloves that were up above your head there.
Right. Those are actually from the security guards in San Jose that were my boys, Ruben and Randy. So that's actually way down the end of the career. But
that's awesome.
But I had trained with this other guy before, but what didn't really help me. But I finally just said, screw it. I know what I need to do. I need to go into the gym, put on hockey gear with somebody who knows how to fight, go from punching the bag to get tired, and then with him and me in gear, just grapple with the gear on standing up and practice. And then he'd put a glove on and punch me in the head. So I got used to getting punched. And I would go in there after like a 2-a-day and just do that for an hour in the heat of the summer. And just so I came back to Owen Sound a fucking animal. I was now 6'4", 215, shredded for as much as I could be in my body type. And I just said, okay, let's go. And 6 days into training camp, I was on the 6th line in practice still, not getting any chance, playing with like other like 16-year-olds, young guys. I just finally went into this coach's office and I just said, what the fuck, man? Like, you said I have to re-earn it. You're not even giving me a chance to re-earn it. So give me one chance. And he's like, okay. So I came the next day, I was on the 3rd line, never looked back.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's
awesome.
Incredible, man. And like just the adversity that you had to deal with from being just 10 years old, like it is absolutely unbelievable what you ended up being able to accomplish in such a short time. And like I'm really, based on what you've said about your work ethic and the time you were putting in, it really does not surprise me at all that you got to where you ended up being at that stage. So that's absolutely incredible story. I really appreciate you sharing it in depth like that.
No problem, man. No problem. I mean, it keeps going if you want it.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. We're gonna keep going. I just
yeah.
It just blows my mind to think like how almost like a regular person would just roll over and just kind of give up. And it's like you've pushed through, honestly, at this point, what, you're 18, 19? You've gone further than a lot of people would in their entire lives if that had happened to them. So it's just we'll continue going, but like I just want to say, give you a little bit of give you your flowers there, because
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. My mom came from Scottish immigrant hardworking parents. I saw what hard work was, but when you had all that pain and stuff that was buried down inside, like forcing me and driving me, like I didn't think about anything else. I didn't do anything. I didn't care who or what anybody said about me. I mean, that first year when I said I never played, Andrew Shaw shot pucks at me because I practiced too hard and I had to go fight him to get him off my back. Like he shot literally a puck at my head. So like, I just didn't care. When coach said 2 laps, I did 2 laps. Like I was going to die if I didn't go all out. And like, that's the kind of, like, you know, people like to talk about Tom Brady and how he just made it happen and he worked so hard, but then they glorify, but they never go do it themselves. Like you literally just got to go fucking do it. So that's what happens when you do it. When you don't do anything else and you just train, things happen. It's as simple as that. It's an A to B formula. So that season now, me and Kyle Hope and Holden Cook, we just became like the third line from hell. We just would play against every team's top line. We'd either run them through the wall, pin them in the O-zone, score, or change in the O-zone and get our next line out. We'd literally come back to the bench after pinning them in for a minute and a half going, woo, get out there, fellas, go score. Like, so our team was nasty. Binner had the goalie of the year award that year. And at Christmas, everything's going great. I'm beating everybody up in fights. I lead the league that year in them. And me and my mom are having like a freaking apple juice. And Dale DeGray, my GM, just cheekily walks up to me and my mom out of nowhere with a smile on his face. He goes, your son's going to get drafted to the NHL. And we're like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I'm 19. I'm turning 20. He's like, you're third year eligible. I'm like, he's like, every team in the NHL almost has called us about you.
Wow.
And I was just like floored. So how do you think Christmas was that year? Me and my mom were like on cloud 11, you know, I come back and I just take it to another level. I just keep playing well. It culminates in the playoffs playing against, I think Plymouth Whalers had like 6 first-round picks, Nazen, Tom Wilson, Ricard Raquel. I just keep going down the list. And I had a Gordie Howe hat trick in a game, and that cemented I was getting drafted. And I remember going down to the draft. He said you might go 5th round, but if somebody really likes you, go 3rd. Minnesota Wild, 3rd round. It was nuts. It was nuts. I couldn't believe it, man. And from there, I'm getting the opportunity to either turn pro or go back to junior. I said, let me go back to junior and work on my game. It was the right thing to do, but it didn't go as great as I would have liked. Even though I'm leading the team in points the first 13 games with 17, they're rotating me in and out of the lineup. They're not playing me on the power play. So it kind of stunted my growth a little bit, which was frustrating, but fuck it. I moved on to pro, and then I was turning pro at 21 with the Iowa Wild.
Wow. That's such an incredible story. Can you maybe just take us through the draft process a bit more? Because we've only had 1 or 2 other NHL draft picks on before. So just kind of take us through that day. Like, what is it like? Are you doing all these meetings and questionnaires and stuff? Like, how does that process all go?
Well, mine's a unique one because, I was 19 turning 20 and I'm not nearly on the rankings. I'm like a sleeper pick, right?
Right.
So the draft combine was in Toronto and I live 45 minutes north. So what happened was I got interviewed by 23 teams and I just had to throw on my suit every day, drive my mom's minivan down there. And I was meeting like the Penguins in a freaking food court mall doing a psych test. I met Minnesota at the Tim Hortons by my house. I met the Oilers on their last day of all the combine meetings and talked to them for an hour. And they offered me a scouting job as a joke because I was so fired up in the meeting. They kept bringing me in and like getting me behind closed doors so nobody else could see me interviewing. But that was stupid because my agent was telling every other team was talking about me. So that was really eye-opening experience. But then going down to the draft early, and then my family drove down and it's humid in New York and we're in Times Square and I'm just like literally sweating bullets of stress. Like, I'm like, I don't want to be out here sightseeing. Let me just go back to the hotel and just wait it out. I just want to know that I'm getting drafted. I'm freaking out because I've never been through a draft process.
Yeah.
I don't want to have come down here and not get drafted. So we go to some restaurant for the first 2 rounds because it was all one day back then. And then we go in for the start of the 3rd round because we think we might get drafted. And it was Minnesota, then Edmonton, and then Nashville. And I knew these were the 3 teams that liked me most. I thought I was going to go to Edmonton or Nashville. But they said, with the 81st pick from Owen Sound, right wing, and then my family, I didn't hear my name because my mom just jumped up, right, and crying and felt so good. And I just walked down that first lower bowl steps. It's concrete, felt like walking on clouds the whole way down. It was like the longest, coolest, shortest walk ever. It was strange, like in a different dimension. And then I go up to the table, shake everybody's hand, get the jersey, get the hat, go to the back. And I remember UC Saros was just drafted around me. So we're hanging out and we go do interviews and the silly pictures where they make you hold the stick so stupidly. And you don't care, right? You're just happy to be there. Do the interviews and then you're back to see your family. And that was it. And then you just get the emails and development camp info and you're there in the next week or 2.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Incredible. So obviously, you already went over, you got drafted, you went back to junior, then you make the jump to pro at 21. So what was that like? Obviously it's a crazy jump to pro. And then it's a grind playing in the minor leagues, like everyone always says. So what was just your first few years like there before you ended up getting a shot at the NHL?
So the end of my 4th year junior, my overage year, I go down as a PTO at the end of the season, right? Just to get a couple games in.
Yep.
I pull in with a taxi. It wasn't even Uber yet. In a taxi to the hotel. And I get out of the car and there's some guy dragging my bag from the trunk to the hotel lobby. And I'm like grabbing my sticks and and there's some drunk girl following him. I'm like, what the hell is going on? He drags my bag in the lobby and he pulls up to the front desk. He's like, hey, got a new guy checking in, young buck. And he goes, what's your name? I'm like, Gabe. He's like, Gabers. And he's like spitting on the ground in the hotel, like literally just spitting everywhere.
What?
This is hammered.
Where is this? This is in
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay.
Detroit's farm team. So I'm just like, okay, this is clearly a guy on the team that's just buckled the night before the game out with the boys or whatever. He came back early to sleep with his chick. So yeah, he's just dragging my shit, getting me checked in. I'm just like, all right, have a good night. It's like, wow, that's an intro to pro. So the team was terrible. So as a 4th line tough guy, I got to play 2nd line minutes. So I had 4 points in 8 games and wow, this is easy. This is easier than I thought it was going to be. This is great.
Yeah.
But I come back next year and no, I'm back in my role, 4th line guy. We lose the first 10 games in a row. So that was tough intro, new coach, all this shit happening. But it pretty much went exactly how you would have scripted my first 2.5 years of pro. Every year I improved. Every year I got better. Every year I fought tougher dudes. I got to live the pro life, come from Owen Sound, where I live here now, 10:30 curfew. Everybody knows you in town. You can't do anything. You can't mess up.
Yeah.
Now I'm in Iowa, in Des Moines, Iowa, doing whatever the hell I want. I got a bachelor pad. I got the lazy boy with a 70-inch screen TV with my Xbox playing with the boys Call of Duty. Is the best. You play hard, train hard, had a great time. And so first year pro goes by, everything good. 2nd year pro, I get my first call up, but they don't play me. Then they just ease me and they called me up the next time and they said, you're playing this time. So played against the Winnipeg Jets, my first game. And that was a wild experience. But looking back, it's so different looking at it back then because you're just so sucked into it in the moment, right?
Yeah. Well, tell us about that first game and what was it in Winnipeg or was it in Mini and just kind of tell us how it went. Any really do you have a welcome to the NHL moment or how did it go?
Yeah, so it was in Mini and I was 4 hours south, so I was in the shower and they said coach wants to see you and I knew what it was, so I just ran out basically all soaking wet and he's like, you're going up to play this time. I'm like, let's go. And I ripped up there, got there late at night, but got the morning skate the next day. And to be honest, though, looking back, I didn't recognize all these things because you're just so happy to be there. But I really didn't get a warm welcome. I really didn't get shown around. It was just kind of like, hey, kid, handshake, nice to be here. Blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, whatever, I'm just happy to be here, So, but it was just, my nervous system was so taxed. I was so excited that I wore myself out. I think I was just so vibrating high. But I get out for the game. Didn't even realize till after, but I didn't get a rookie lap. So didn't care about that at the time either, but they didn't do that for me. But I think the welcome moment was just, I went in just had my own little moment where I skated to center ice and warm up in the first like minute or two. And I look behind me and there's like Buff skating by, Scheifele, Wheeler. And then I look back in our end and it was just like, you know, the music's going, all the crowds down in Minnesota's end near the glass. I could see my mom, brother, stepdad, and my good friend on one side of the bowl, my buddy and his dad who red-eyed in. And I'm just like, all right, like we're fucking here. Like this is go time. And then I went back into the warm-up and got fired up. And first shift, I went down and hit Mark Stewart, I think, pretty hard and got the crowd going a little bit. So that was a good start. But then it was kind of an uneventful game. I wanted to fight first shift. I always said I'd always do that, but I couldn't get Chris Thorburn on the ice. So second period, late in the first period, I fought Chris Thorburn, veteran guy. So it went pretty well. He kind of was off, but he kind of knocked me out of balance at the end. I was doing better than he probably expected. So it wasn't the big fight I wanted, but it ended up just being a great night. And took my family to the St. Paul Grill, big steakhouse, walking distance from the hotel. Said, buy anything, you know, one of those moments, which was really cool. Yeah. So it was a pretty cool night. But the best part was waking up the next morning. My mom is out at a flight at like 5, 6 a.m. to get back to teach her, but she had slid a card under my door. So I get up and I'm like going to the bathroom and I see the card under the door. I'm like, what the hell? And I open it up and she said, you know, sweetie, I knew this day would come. Ever since that 16-year-old, we knew you were going to play. I knew you were going to play. I bought this card then for this day and signed it, dated it, the whole thing, and just said, congratulations. So that was
way. That's awesome.
She was on the journey with me, man. She knew nothing about hockey. But this time she's like a scout. She knew I was going to play here just as much as I did.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. Your mom sounds like she was a pretty special woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable, dude. Like
it's wild, man. It's wild life to go that fast, man. It's for sure. It's like, yeah. So that was 22 years old, 6 years from sitting on the bed to playing the show.
The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey, hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me state. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
So when that first contract, I mean, honestly, the money, it seems like a kind of a secondary thing to you. You were more so focused on the, but when were you realizing that, like, okay, this is like my career. This is, I can help my mom out. I can, you know, was the AHL money back then good enough for you to kind of set her up and set yourself up? Or was it more so, did you ever have like a moment where you realized, okay, this is my career now? Like this is something that I can do?
I think I knew it was going to be my career when I was told I was going to get drafted, but we love the game so much. Like the money's just like
that's kind of what I thought.
You know, it's like a bonus. It's like,
yeah.
I think I was making 140 or 150 US a year my first 3 years in the rookie deal. Like it's amazing. But my mom, you know, from a hardworking family, a mother or teacher in Canada, you know, they get taken care of well. She was smart with her money, so she didn't need anything from me. I think after my third year pro, I took her to Italy for like 10 days and we went all over the place, just me and her. So that was fun. But yeah, the only really times I can think about the money was just like the first time I was in the show for 2 weeks and I got a full 2-week paycheck.
Yeah.
Like, on a rookie deal of getting like $22K after tax just right in your account. I was like, what the fuck? You know, and I'm not a materialistic person. I never was. I was more about like the status and more about like I was never cared about having nice things. So it was just, it was cool.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't see you as a material. Sorry, I didn't see you as a material guy or like worried about the money at all. I was just wondering if you had like that moment. That's cool. That's cool to me.
You could say the moment was kind of the first year pro when I got to go to Best Buy and just deck out my little bachelor pad.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Because you said the 70-inch. You said the 70-inch TV. You said the Xbox. I was like,
MacBook, the Turtle Beach headphones, the whole freaking thing. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, and then so you kind of get your first couple of games in Minnesota, and then I believe it was the following year you get. I assume that would be when you got your first full 2 week that you just mentioned. And then how does your time in Minnesota kind of end, and you end up going to the New Jersey Devils system?
Oof. Well, 2.5 years into the third year pro, I thought everything was going perfect, and I'll save the deets for the book, but I got sent down basically when I didn't think I should have, and it fucked with my head. And because of all the shit I hadn't dealt with, it got really turbulent after that. The first 2.5 years of my career were just the same arc from 16, just a rocket ship.
Yeah.
But after that, it went like this for a lot of years. And my fourth year in Iowa, I'm back there. They fired the GM and all the guys that drafted me. I battled my way back. I remember the development guy, Richard Parks, and Gabe's, come over here, morning skate. Like, you're going to get called up probably tonight after this game. So just keep it going. And I'm like, yes, I'm back. I'm going to get another chance in the show. And second shift, I hit Robbie Russo. I turn around. I hit him pretty hard, so he falls over. I turn around. And you know when you like tabletop your buddy, you like go behind his knees and somebody pushes him over?
Yeah.
He stood up behind my legs like that, and I fell on the back point of his blade and sliced my wrist.
Oh.
And 2 tendons and my nerve, and that ended my time in Minnesota effectively. So then I became a free agent, and I was terrified. I was like, and I was not just terrified, I was embarrassed because I'd made the OHL as a free agent. And then I got drafted third round and had 4 years to make it the NHL organization, man. It was debilitating for like my mind. Like I just felt like such a joke that I didn't reward them. And so going into free agency, I was freaking out, didn't know what to expect, but I made a list for my agent. I identified 13 teams that I'd want to play for if I had the choice in the exact order I'd want to play for them who lacked toughness in the organization. And number 1 was Jersey, number 2 was St. Louis, and those are the first 2 teams that called me. And I said, Jersey, let's go. And I got in great shape. I went there. I thought I had a great camp, but I got cut on freaking TV on like behind the glass or whatever it was, and the damn camera in my face.
Really?
Seriously?
Yeah. So that wasn't fun. You could tell I was fucking pissed.
So sorry, just real quick. What was that? Was it like a media thing or?
Yeah, like they do like Hard Knocks in the NFL or like behind the glass in training camp. Yeah, it was like a training camp show on the Devils.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So they highlighted my story, and obviously I'm a talker, so they're like, "Oh, let's get this guy on camera." And they followed me through, and I did. The coach Heinze was like, "You did well." The coach was like, "You did well, but we're going to start you in Binghamton." I was pissed, but I went down with a good attitude. I'm ready to go. First 2 games, 2 apples on the fourth line, 2 wins, playing with Nathan Bastian, Kevin Rooney, both NHLers. I knew if I could get good chemistry with them, I'd get up to Jersey, and then they just buried me. They're just like, you are not a prospect. You're not going to play every night. It doesn't matter how well you do. And then you want to talk about messing with my head for a guy that's all about what I earn and everything. Yeah. That was tough. So save the rest of that little tough part for the book, but basically fight my way out of the minors to Jersey. And I get to spend 3.5 months there just having the time of my life, because when you're up at a certain point, you stay for the rest of the season after the roster freeze, sometime after All-Star break, right? So I got told, you're not leaving, by the way. And I was like, what? So I got to go to the rink for a period of time knowing I'm not getting sent down. I don't have to worry about how I play. Like, I'm here. And, man, that helped me soar. And I got my first goals. And the first goal didn't mean anything. The second goal is where it was at. That was a feel.
Yeah, we got some questions about that, because I've seen the videos of both of them, and like your first goal, nice shot, but the second one on Carey Price, that must have been pretty unbelievable. You want to just talk about that?
Oh man, yeah, like I could just feel it coming when I jumped off the bench for that first shift of the second period. I just knew it was coming. I could just feel it, and how the whole play unraveled, it was like in slow motion, and I just knew it was coming. Connor Carrick floated a perfect shot to me, tipped it out of the air. Shea Weber sprawling on the ice, Hall of Famer. Carey Price is there down, and I get to put it in the net. And I just knew the first one was that like fluky goal, and the second one just that I got to earn it, and then I got room to celebrate, and I got to fucking scream like just all the work, all the shit I'd been through that I haven't spoken about, all that came out of just like roaring in like celebration. And that was at that time definitely the best feeling of my life. Like every cell in my body felt like it just erupted. I was just like gone for a moment, just melted into the moment. That was wild. So I really felt like I was like earning it now. I wasn't just here by fluke. I wasn't here just by fighting. I was like actually contributing. And that was a huge moment. So again, just like I did before I got sent down to Minnesota, I thought I made the show there. Thought I made the show this time. No call in the summer. Absolutely free agent again. And I'm like,
just like nothing.
Radio silence, eh?
Radio fucking silence. But that mini freak out got solved because the guys who drafted me in Minnesota, Chuck Fletcher, Brent Flair, were now ran the Philadelphia Flyers GM, assistant GM. So I signed with them right away. And,
nice. Okay.
Yeah, so that kind of saved me. I got in really good shape again, went down there, playing great in the preseason, have a great camp, best I've ever felt. And then I go to chip a puck up the wall in the neutral zone, and I kind of watch my pass for just a split second, and Anders fucking Lee buries me. Just hammers me, and that guy is a unit.
Yeah.
And I go down weirdly, but my toe gets caught in the ice. It twists my knee. I think I blow my whole knee. I've never had knee problems, so I don't know what to expect, but I'm carried off the ice. And then they're like, see if it's torn after the MRI. Ends up being just like a bad bone bruise and MCL sprain. So I'm like, I'm good. Keep me up here. I'm good. I'll skate through it. They're like, no, I'll go to the minors. I'm like, okay, I'll be positive. I go down there. Gordie Howe hat trick in the first weekend in the 2 games. I'm like, call me up. These fuckers sign Chris Stewart out of the EIHL English League to come play that year, to be the veteran tough guy. So I get like barred out of my spot from the guys that draft. Like, I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? So I tried everything to keep it going, but then more stuff that I'll say for the book. I basically went to the deepest, darkest place of my life. And that was a miserable season, an absolutely miserable season. But as we've talked about before, shit just happens, right? I didn't know it then that it was happening this way, but I was just trying to do the best I could. But a couple crazy turn of events, boom, I'm in San Jose after COVID, and I'm flying high again. And that was a wild time.
Wow. I just can't, like, the ups and downs of your pro career compared to like you were saying, like you just had this absolute skyrocket of success and getting to finally like reap the rewards of your own effort, to then have to continue doing the same thing you've been doing effort wise, and then just have to get dragged back down and pull yourself back up over and over. It's just really gives more perspective on the absolute grind for players like you who really had to work for everything. And it's so tough to hear those things, especially when it was like the guys who you kind of probably thought they had your back when you were going to Philly, and then bringing Stewart in, like, and then the fact that you're able to, again, continue battling, and you end up in San Jose, and probably a pretty awesome place to play, like beautiful out there. And so again, just give us your San Jose story and what that was like.
So back at the Combine, one of my interviews was San Jose, and they have a notoriously kind of intimidating interview. So I remember going into this big ballroom. They sit you literally in the middle of this huge room with the fucking spotlight on your head, like right here. Okay. And they're all in tables. The whole staff is in tables around you. It's like you're being interviewed for murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tim Burke is this hardcore head scout, and he kind of interviews you. And the Doug Wilson, Hall of Famer, is just sitting there watching the GM. And I answer all the questions. The passion comes out, talk about my dad, and it's fueling me. And then I walk down the hall, and then I hear there's footsteps behind me. And Doug Wilson, the GM, was running down the hall to catch up to me. And he's like, I just wanted to say and shake your hand, you're going to play in this fucking league. And I was like, you fucking damn right I am. So when I signed there, I'm like, this is the fucking place. I'm ready now. Fuck all the other shit. It's my time. This is my guy. Still the GM there. So it's funny, by the way, back to what you said of looking back at the ups and downs. Every guy has these ups and downs. It's whether or not they want to dive into these stories and really share them. I find, because we all have our own stories.
Of course.
I was going to say your attention to detail and your memory of like everything is crazy. It's unique. It's the most unique thing I've ever seen in my life. It's how do you remember every single fucking detail? It's crazy.
Well, this happens when you're writing a memoir on your life. It's coming out.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. A book.
April 20th, 2023, my 33rd birthday, it's coming out. So I've fucking dove into everything, brother. And this is just like the top 40% of it. This goes so much deeper, but
Yeah.
It's, and we look at it like, oh, it's been so hard up and down, which is so true from the hockey player perspective. But you would have told 10-year-old me I'm going to be yanked up and down from the NHL and the AHL, would have been like, okay, I would have ran around the fucking neighborhood naked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it's all perspective and awareness. And this is what I really live about now. But back to San Jose, I get there and I'm just flying high, man. I don't give a shit. I'm on the taxi squad. Nothing's phasing me anymore. I don't care. They throw me in a game for my first game against Vegas and Reeves. So obviously I'm supposed to counteract him always bullying the San Jose Sharks. So I've already fought him once in my career. So I'm chasing him around. He doesn't want to fight me, but I'm kind of like not in perfect game shape because I've been on the taxi squad. It's this weird thing. So after the game, I'm like, send me to the minors. I want to go down and get ready and bring me back up next time we play them. And they're like, okay. So I fucking go down, play 2 games, 2 goals and an assist, fight one of the toughest dudes still in pro hockey, Jake Doty, while I'm down there, get feeling really good, get really fired up, come back up. And then I go on my run with San Jose, play Reeves again, fight him. Next game, Chirpin Clifford, fight him. Next game, Delorier, whatever it was, just back to back to back. And
yeah,
all of the feelings just rose to the surface. And my agent's calling me saying that GM's talking contract extension. Like, you've pretty much made it. Like, it's like, you're here now. You've arrived. And I'm just like, but the rest of that I'm going to keep for the book because I have to word it very carefully with what happened. But long story short, I ended up sitting out for 27 games straight without an explanation.
Wow.
And my time in San Jose ends. And
dude, it's like, oh my god,
dude, you don't even want to know. Wait till when I will come back on after the book and get into the nitty gritties of these things. But what happened there? I've had to do so much work on seeing that everything happens for a reason, and what's for me can't miss me, because that was a wild time of my life. So I come home from San Jose, tail between my legs, and now my wrist is falling apart because I haven't talked about, you saw the one injury, but I had another injury when I was younger and I haven't taken care of it. So now I'm freaking out. I got to get cortisone shots. Who's going to sign me? But then Kyle fucking Dubas comes out of the woodwork with a one-way contract to my hometown Toronto Maple Leafs. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? I'm like, I've told everybody in my life, that's the last team I'm going to sign for. I don't give a shit. I don't want to sign there. I hate the way they play. I hate their philosophy. Keith Dubas, fuck them. But then they give me a one-way, and I'm like, I have to take it. I have to.
Do this.
yeah.
So my wrist, I don't tell them about my wrist. It heals up from the cortisone, which doesn't heal anything. It just knocks out the inflammation.
It numbs
away.
Yeah.
It numbs it, yeah. So it numbs it just the day I show up. I don't know if I go out the first day, I'm going to have to tell them about my wrist. They signed me with a bad wrist, but it goes away. So I'm just flying high again. Oh my God. I train with the boys, John Tavares, Matt, all the guys are so nice. I'm going to JT's cottage. Holy fuck.
No way.
Oh, dude. The first day I signed, I get a text. Hey, KG, it's JT. Welcome to the organization. We'll have you up at the cottage a month before camp with all the fellas. I'm like,
that's
the contrast between that and not getting a rookie lap in Minnesota to JT texting when I sign. Okay, this is when they talk about there's levels to the game of leadership, professionalism. You hear about Sidney Crosby when you sign there. He's like introduces you to everyone, gives you his personal phone number, everything. So JT's cut from that cloth. So it just had a time. I mean, I'm immersed with the guys. I'm like, maybe this is the place, They've signed Wayne Simmons and Nick Ritchie, which I was like, fuck, there's no chance I'm going to be on the roster if they already have those two guys that are tough and can play. But I'm like, what if they say we need a hometown psychopath to just fire up this organization for once? I'm like hoping on a prayer that this happens. So I go all out. I have the best training camp of my life. Oh man, but I'm the fucking like last cut. And Dubas sits down. He's like, honestly, you played way better than we thought you would, but like, you weren't going to start the year here with Simmons and Ritchie. So go down. But then what do you think happened to me there? Like the being that close and living it and staying in an apartment downtown and walking to an NHL rink, the Toronto Maple Leafs, people recognize, like, it was just like the coolest fucking thing ever. My ego ran away with it. And when I went down, I just couldn't couldn't deal with the mental, with all the shit that I still hadn't dealt with, and I buried me.
Yeah.
And I had to just say that they traded for Kyle Clifford, and I said the writing's on the wall. Got a great story about calling Dubas in the book, saying what the fuck. Anyway, I get traded to Chicago, and now I'm in Chicago. And what the fuck? I'm just up and down and all around, and now I'm in this change stall. First day I'm taking off my clothes, I get there, it's Marc-Andre Fleury, and I'm like, no way.
Oh, sick.
I'm like, I've had different experiences with different guys where, they don't meet your expectations, or some guys exceed them. But you want to talk about what people say about Flower, he is even better than that in real life.
Yes, I love
Dude.
that. That makes me so happy.
He didn't bypass me. He didn't say, hey, how are you? Like in Minnesota. He turned around. He stopped getting dressed. He shook my hand. He spoke to me. I told him my girlfriend at the time loved him. She was a goalie. And he's like, yeah, that's awesome. Like talking about goalies. I'm like, dude, what? Jonathan Taves, me and him are hanging out for 30 minutes after games, stretching, talking about all the shit he was going through at the time. Fucking Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane's got a bad hip, so he's grumpy, but he's still like, why aren't you playing every night? Fucking Boriueki knocked my helmet off last game in a scrum. My dad's like, why isn't Gabriel fucking playing? I'm like, I don't fucking know, Kaner. Like, so the three legends there treated me amazing, but the organization did not. They told the media in my introductory little thing, like, he's going to get every chance to be the fourth line tough guy. Okay, was every chance 2 games a month apart, 5 minutes ice time?
No.
No. I know I can't skate. I know I probably was worse than they thought I was. But anyway, they didn't back up anything. So I go down to Rockford, and I'm there the rest of the year. And my wrist falls apart. My mind implodes. And that was about all she wrote, fellas.
Wow. What a career.
What a career, yeah.
Like, and your storytelling too, like incredible. But yeah, man, like congratulations. You had a hell of a career, and you worked for every bit of it. And that was like definitely the best career story we've ever heard. Like the detail, the memory, that was fantastic.
Appreciate that, guys.
I think it's very cool to hear you, obviously you being our first ever NHL alumni we've had on the pod. Yeah, exactly. It's very cool to hear your stories about your interactions with these players. And I'm been a Penguins fan my whole life. So Marc-Andre Fleury obviously is like just one of my favorites. So hearing that is very, very nice to hear. And then, yeah, like playing with Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, that must've been incredible as well. I was going to ask about that, but you already kind of talked about it. What I did think of is, you talked about the warm welcome in Toronto and Chicago. So obviously Minnesota wasn't great. Did you, I don't know how to word this because I don't want to put you in a position where you have to say negative things, but obviously certain atmospheres are better than others. Was there like just an absolute favorite one where you could just tell this group was like an unreal crew?
100% Toronto. And that's what people always ask me. They're like, and I've done a lot of content on them, and I hope the boys don't like get mad at me for it, because I'm talking about them as hockey players, not people. But I really differentiate. Like, they're like, what is up with Toronto? You were in that room. I was like, oh, I was more than in the room. I was like with the parties with them and stuff. And like, these guys are the best fucking guys, man.
That's awesome.
Like, I know there's not that many of them still left that I was there, but Riley, I know Marner just left, Matthews, Muzzin was amazing at the time, but the core guys that were there and the people in the organization, like, there is not a thing wrong with an organization other than they're too nice. It's like, as a former player now out of the game, I love them so much, but like, why did the Florida Panthers win? Because as Rick Bowness said in one of his interviews as becoming the Columbus coach, they're nasty.
Yeah.
They're just fucking nasty. And that's, I don't care what anybody says. A game is about intimidation still, and it's violent, and you got to be willing to hurt people to win and get hurt to win. And those guys are just almost too nice to do that in a way, which is crazy to say, but the locker room, the mentality, the atmosphere, nobody was above anyone. Like, I just can't say enough. I still remember, like, we were all training, and Matthews comes in like a week before camp. He was dealing with a wrist thing, and then Muzzin comes in one day. He's like, Gaber, Poppy's here. The big boy's here. And I'm like, oh, shit. So Muzzin's probably the funniest team I ever played with. And Matthews comes in with his little dangly, cross earring. And I'm like, holy shit, what's this guy going to be like with this group and this vibe? He was fucking awesome, man. He was awesome, man. Like, I remember one game in the preseason I had a sore groin and I was getting worked on, and he stopped and chatted with me and shot the shit with me. I know it's just good people there, man.
Yeah,
good.
That's
people.
awesome. Yeah, because I think the media narrative with like all Toronto's struggles and getting past that kind of next step over the past 8 years or so. I think a lot of people question what the locker room is like and the character of those guys. So that's really actually cool to hear that from you, because I've never heard that about that room. I mean, obviously you assume guys like John Tavares are great leaders, but actually hearing your firsthand experience is also really cool. Something else you mentioned earlier that I wanted to ask you about is like you fought Revo, who is still in the league doing his thing. He's a very great, like all-time heavyweight, at least of this generation. You fought other guys like Curtis McDermott. You mentioned Clifford Delorier. So I want to ask if you have a favorite fight as well as a toughest fight, like the hardest opponent you ever had.
So I think, and I always got to say this when I talk about fights, Brett Gallant is hands down to me the toughest hockey fighter ever. Many people might not know him. He was an AHL guy mostly, but I fought him a couple times, which was quite an honor and terrifying. But if I had to say the hardest fights of my career were that shit season in Lehigh Valley, the minors of Philly, when I had to fight Jamie Devane 3 fucking times that year. And just to put in perspective, like my mindset with this guy, when I was at the Mem Cup in junior and sleeping on a cot every night in the fucking hotel, one day I'm just taking a nap, and next thing you know, and somebody got our key card, swiped it, and I'm getting flipped out of my bed, and it's Jamie Devane flipping me out of my bed. He's not even on my team. He's buddies with the overagers on my team. He's playing for the Toronto Marlies at the time. I'm a 17-year-old schmelt rookie, and he's flipping me out of my bed as a joke. And I'm like, okay, sick. Now I have to be a pro and fight this guy, and I'm depressed. So I had to fight him 3 times. The first one was I was more in it then. Second one, I just wanted to get it over with. Third one, he was like fighting a ghost. I got one punch, and I was just like TK out. Thank God he didn't break my jaw or knock me out. My legs went jello for a minute, and I woke back up. But that was the worst and most tough time fighting for sure. The best one, I mean, it has to be against, who became my hero, Milan Lucic, right? In Edmonton.
Awesome.
I got some stuff I'll share about the book that's super cool, but just to fight him when there's so many weird similarities between me and his game. I'm like the Lucic that never was a Lucic. Like, just look at these comparisons. Okay. Look at these comparisons. He made as a free agent, and he got drafted 2nd round. I was 3rd round. He plays the same role, but he's just better version than me. He skates with a hunch because he has scoliosis, like a back thing. I've always skated with a hunch because that's just my shit skating posture. His dad took his own life later in life. My dad took his life younger in life. We've all both gone through struggles with certain things, and man, there's a lot of similarities. So be able to go into that game and see that he was on the 4th line, because usually he's the second, first line guy. Yeah. But that year in Edmonton, he was, everybody hated him and he was having a tough time. So he's on the 4th line, and I was just like, holy shit. Because the first time I played him, I tried to get his attention, but he didn't care. This time I'm going to get his attention. So I was just so jacked up before that game. The new Edmonton rink, it was so nasty. Playing with David. They're in a playoff push. We're like an AHL team. We're like all AHL guys in the Devils at that time. So we're just playing spoiler, right? We're playing spoiler, and I'm getting so jacked up, and the first shift is in the D zone. He's lined up against me. I'm like, Luch, let's go. Doesn't even look at me. Quick whistle. Back to the draw. Luch, let's fucking go. Tap him on the leg. He looks at me. Nothing again. Another whistle. Luch, let's fucking go. He looks at me this time, but then the puck goes down the ice, ends up in the other end. Goalie smothers it. And I just go right to him in the front of the net, and I just grab on his collar and say, I'm not saying, like, you're not saying no, let's go. And he shed. And we went at it, man. And it was like riding a fucking bull. He was so big and strong. And wild night for me. And we ended up winning 6-3, spoil their kind of playoff push at the time. It was fucking awesome.
That's incredible. Amazing. That's a great story. Joe, you got anything you want to hop in with?
Yeah,
I've asked a few in a row. I'll give you a chance to talk.
My questions are more so mindset related, and I don't know how much you want to. I think you got a little bit of a taste of it earlier in the interview, but I don't know if Owen wants to kind of put the hockey stuff to bed here, but I love the fact that you've been through all this turbulence, you've been through the ups and downs, and you persevered through it. What would you say is like the driver that kept you going? Because I know that it's when you get in that rut, you get low and you realize, oh shit, like I'm in a low right now. You want to make the change. What drives you to make that change and try to get back up to the top? Because you said it's like an up and down. It's like swells and highs, swells and highs.
Fear.
Okay.
Wow.
False evidence appearing real. That's what fear is. And
Okay.
we talk about the hockey stuff because it salts the hay for this stuff. It gets people interested. They're like, hey, well, this hockey story is crazy. Now let's talk about the real shit. And that's what you want to talk about? Fear. That's what motivated me. And it had motivated me since my dad left. And even a little bit before that with some of the experiences I had. But basically, the gist is this. There's only two human behaviors that people can have in this world, okay? You can be acting out of love or for love. And unfortunately, 99.999% of the society is acting as a cry out for love. And that could look like a guy fighting his way to the NHL. That could look like Elon Musk trying to send us to Mars, look like Trump doing what he's doing, whatever you want to say, a single mom trying to get through with her kids. We don't know who we are as a society. We live from this false identity that we are this finite mind body structure, that like I thought I was this kid with this story of losing his dad and I wasn't good at hockey, but now I have a chance and I can make something of myself. And I was born this day and it's going to be a good day if I work hard and a shit day if I don't, and I'll die one day. And that's it. That's existence. Mm-hmm. And it's fucking terrifying. Nobody wants to fucking die. Everybody wants to live forever. People don't just want happiness. They want permanent happiness. What I was trying to do in hockey, like, let me ask you both, why did you guys play hockey?
Because I fucking loved it. Yeah.
You fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. And it made you feel amazing, right? It made you feel happy.
Absolutely.
Okay. So when people ask me, how do you get to the NHL? I tell them, you figure out that whatever you're chasing, if you think you're this Kurtis Gabriel with a body and you're born here in this and you're going to die one day, if you think you're that and you try to make the NHL, all you're trying to do is not play in the NHL. You're trying to get the feeling that you think playing in the NHL will give you, which is fucking awesome. Happiness, the best thing ever.
Exactly.
Whatever. A rich guy wanting to make $1 billion and he gets there and he's like, it doesn't fucking mean anything. It's a title. And we think that getting somewhere is going to find us this permanent happiness. Like I literally thought that if I would play in the NHL, not just playing at a cup of coffee, I drank the whole pot and got to stay in the NHL, that I would be permanently happy. And the best thing that ever happened to me was that I didn't get that, because it gave me so much pain and suffering psychologically that it forced me to go through an awakening to realize now who I really am. And I don't live out as a cry out for love anymore. I act from love, and I just try to serve my fellow human. That's what it's all about. So fear was driving me that whole time, and fear drives every single one of us until we remember who we are. And that's what it says on my chest here, collective memoria. That's on the logo. That means collective remembrance. If you don't remember who you are, you're just going to live a life that is, you're going to suffer whether you get what you want or you don't.
I love that. A lot of people, I find when they finish hockey, they reference it for their mindset beyond hockey. They say hockey's shaped my sort of like what I've been through, and I'll say that as well. Like I've developed my own sort of mindset when being through the stuff that I've been through in hockey, and I know Owen's been through a lot as well. Adversity, being cut from those teams, not making it where you want to be. So I just wanted to ask that question because I know a lot of people are going through ups and downs, and I think it's just awesome to hear you talk about it, and I would love to read your book about it as well.
I will be, and I'm very excited to be reading your book. 100%.
I appreciate it, brothers, because I know you guys have been through shit, because we are all the same human being. Why do you guys know why I say namaste every time I greet you?
No
idea. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is why I do that, is because I would read either one of your books if you bared your soul and wrote that book. But the problem is people write books and they do things trying to please people, and they're not honest. They haven't met themselves. But I would read any human's book. I don't care who you are, if you're honest, because your experience is my experience. When I say namaste to you guys, it means the awareness that I exist right here, right now, that's looking through these eyes at my webcam, hearing my voice come out of my mouth. That awareness that I exist and I'm here is the same awareness that's way out on the West Coast, looking through your eyes, listening through your ears of my voice and looking at me on the screen. We are the same awareness. When people say we're all one, it's not just for like some bullshit reason. We literally are one awareness split into a whole bunch of bodies. And that can kind of break your brain and sound woo-woo and bullshit. I literally live this existence every day, and it's completely reinvented my whole life. And I can't put it into words because it's kind of beyond words. So that's what that means. When I say that, I'm recognizing every time that I honor that the place in you that wants peace and happiness just like I do is one and the same. So right. You are me, I'm you. I could never harm you. I could never try to hurt you. I want what's best for you because I want what's best for me. This is why all the books say, you know, love God and love your neighbor. It's this, God is just this awareness. People get all wrapped up in all these things and rituals and dogmas. It's like, you just got to sit on your bed and fucking meditate and sit in silence and do the work that I've done. And you can realize all these things and you can live a life that is full of fulfillment, peace, and happiness. We just don't know about it. And I didn't fucking know about it. And it took a lot of fucking pain, and almost unsubscribing to life to get to that point to realize. So my whole purpose now is just to let this flow through and just bring the awareness to people. Like, this exists. Like, this whole like good day and bad day and I'm gonna die. It's like fucking bullshit, man. It's not true.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love it because that's awesome.
I love it because I hear about these people that have pushed themselves to get to this point. And you talked about it with the NHL, you talked about it with this, and not almost enjoying the process and enjoying being who you are. And then eventually you get to this spot, whether it's in hockey or even in life, where it's like, all right, I have this $10 million, I have this $100 million business or whatever. And no one ever talks about if they're truly happy or not. So I love it. I love the way that you're talking about it. I love the mindset and everything. And I've always, I don't know if it's a subconscious thing, but I've wanted to almost enjoy the process and enjoy every step of the way. So I love hearing you talk about it. And I'm very excited to read the book about it as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, fellas. Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
just so we make sure we get this in, because this is my whole purpose, is to make sure people realize, like, you know, what turned me off from all this kind of stuff is people in hats and crosses and rules and this and that, and people who said they're religious but then not following it up and backing up, all that crap. You don't need any of that. Like, that's the big message, is like meditation. We've all heard about it. Yeah, I heard meditation's good. It's like, it's literally the master key for your life. Mm-hmm. I'm not sitting here without practicing meditation. I'm gone.
Right.
So it's that important. And remember what I said earlier in my story? I said I started, what do I got to do to be an NHLer? Train in the gym, get a skills coach, eat, sleep, and breathe hockey. And I said I forgot one thing.
Yes.
That's what I forgot.
The last one?
That's meditation. What I forgot. If I had somebody in my life that I respected or looked up to, like a former NHLer or something like myself, and just said, kid, I know you think you got to skate hard and stick handle and shoot and eat well. That's great. That'll get you there. But just the most important thing that you fucking do if you want to make the NHL, have been like, yeah, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Sit on the edge of your bed tomorrow morning for 1 minute and watch your breath. I've been like, huh? Just kid, don't question it. Just do it. And every day add 15 seconds. Done. If I had done that, I'd still be playing the NHL. There's no doubt about it. It's not my path to, and I'm quite at peace with that, but it's the truth. If anybody says, how do I get to the NHL? How do I get my daughter to the PWHL? How do I be successful? How do I get to go to Harvard? How do I do whatever? Sit on the fucking edge of your bed in the morning and meditate and actually do it and build yourself up to doing 15 minutes every morning. It'll change your life more than anything. Any kind of cold plunge and psychotherapist and diet, it doesn't, and nothing comes in close into comparison.
Wow. Okay. That's sorry, I don't even know what to say. I really appreciate the message. It's very, you know, like I think you kind of hear, like you were mentioning, like the fitness trends, like the cold plunge and stuff, like all that stuff's getting really trendy. And like, I've heard, you know, meditation's important, but I've never heard somebody really break it down and kind of explain it the way you have and the impact it's made on your life. So sorry for not finding my words at the beginning there, but that's what I would say is I appreciate the depth you've described it in.
It's tough things to talk about. It's tough things to talk about because it's different than we're used to. You know?
Absolutely.
It's strange, but like, you know, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Philosopher's Stone's this magical thing that can, you know, help you live forever. Yeah. You literally have that in your head. Like, that's what you are. You are the fucking stone. You are the Holy Grail. You are what you're looking for. You just have to do the work to remember. And doing that work starts with this meditation. So just a little quick thing too. It's for free. You go on my Instagram page. There's little circle highlights. There's a discipline tab. You just click the discipline tab and screenshot that. It literally tells you how to start doing this tomorrow morning right there. It's like meditation for dummies. That's all you got to do. Right there for you for free. So if anybody's interested, go do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check it out if you're interested. I know I'll be checking it out. I'm definitely, I'll give this a shot. I'll definitely apply it.
I can only use so many words to describe how profound it is. Like it's just one of those things. I wish I could just upload a USB to your head, but it doesn't work that way, right? So I work on speaking with it, and I practice public speaking. About to launch my public speaking career. I work on all the storytelling, the speaking, so that I can't make you drink the spiritual waters, but I can lead you the horse to the water. But I can salt the fucking hay to make you thirsty as shit. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm just trying to crack some little part of the armor in your ego that goes, fuck this guy. Don't listen to him. There's got to be some party that goes, what if he's right? Just what if he's right? That's all I'm trying to do.
Absolutely. Right. I love that. I kind of wanted to ask a little bit further now. You mentioned your book, so I want to give you a bit more of an opportunity to plug it and just really your whole brand, like the fight plan, what you're doing off the ice, like what you're doing with this next step in your career. I just came across the fight plan a few months ago, and obviously I was familiar with your career and your story. So what is it that you're trying to build? And plug your book, plug everything.
Let's go, boys. Thank you so much for the opportunity, man. It's let me tell you, I've turned all that will and discipline and fire that I put into hockey to get where I did. I learned that I could manifest anything, especially out of fear and anger. But now what can I do out of love? It's like infinite. So that discipline went from that to then my own healing journey, which continues. But now it's to transmute this into my offering. I talk about alchemy. It's turning lead into gold. It's really about turning your suffering and your pain until you're offering to people of love. And that's what this is coming from. So it's I'm going at this harder than I ever did hockey. Like this is full blown, just all out on this. And it's so joyous and beautiful, man. It's so fun to do every day. I have this office. So I got public speaking career launching very shortly. The website should be up in the next week. Nice. The fight plan is live stream right now. That's 4 nights a week, 7 to 9 p.m. on all platforms. That's going to morph into 1 night a week, a podcast or live podcast, the Fight Plan podcast coming up here soon. The book comes out April 20th, 2026, this year on my 33rd birthday. There should be another book. That's the first book is the memoir and the story, all the nitty gritty story elements. But then the second book in the fall will be like the real deep dive into the teaching kind of pointings and what I experienced from the spiritual lens. Okay, it's really, again, salt the hay with the first book, bring people in. Like the Owen Sound Attack coach here who I help out with this, shut up with your spiritual stuff. I just want to read your hockey shit. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. I'll get the good stories in there, but you're going to have to read the other shit too, fucker. Yeah. Like, it's kind of pretty funny. So that, and then obviously I'm an integrative health coach. So everything just is funneling, all these different things funnel people to Collective Memorial, which is the spiritual community I'm building, which will be on school. And that'll be a place where people are just, if everybody's welcome. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care what you believe. I don't care if you believe in, aliens or you're a furry, you dress up as a cat going to school every day. I don't give a fuck. It's a place to come in and remember who we are, and everybody's welcome. It's a big fire that you can think about. Is like the analogy is we're all out here fighting in this world. We're all out, going through the forest, and people are stressed about work and life, and people can't deal with Trump and whatever. And they're in this forest and they're fighting, but then they see this like flicker in the woods ahead of them in the dark. And it's this big bonfire, and you get there and you can lay down your armor, your sword, your backpack, you can dry it out, you can get some food, and you hang out with other people who are going through their own fight against life. And you relight your torch, you repack up, you get back out there, but hopefully this time with less armor, with less fight in you. And every time you come back tired to the fire, you get recuperated by everyone. You get the meditation practices, you learn these things. And eventually you realize you always have been that fire, and you can live the peace you've always wanted. So that's where everybody's being pushed to. The idea is to charge corporations where I speak at big money to then fund it and make this as free as possible. I want it as free as possible, because there's never been a barrier to remembrance. It's all inside of you, and I want that to reflect. But I want people to come in. If they make $100K, pay $20 a month. If you don't, that's fine. It's free, but that's going to pay for the people that can't afford to come in, and we all just grow together.
Right. Of course. That's a very, very good comparison. Like talking about the whole campfire idea and it being like a place for everyone to go and recharge and just, get any help they need. And just a platform for community really. And I love that. Everyone welcome. Something I also did want to ask you about, it is a bit backpedaling to the hockey side of things, but you've been a very outspoken ally of the Pride community, and you were one of the first players to really speak out on it. And you had the tape on your stick, and I think I remember reading an article that said it kind of almost happened by accident, if that's correct. But do you mind just giving a bit of perspective about that and just your just being an ally?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's a very similar journey to my own healing journey. It's waking up to loving other people as yourself. So growing up, as I said, I was raised with a spirituality religion. We didn't hate anybody, but I was ignorant. I'm a white dude playing with white guys, thinking about white things all the time. I didn't think about anything else. I didn't do anything. I wasn't had about any tensions, but I said, that's so gay. I use homophobic slurs. I was probably a little racist and I didn't know it. I didn't know. So when I left to go play in Iowa and I'm out of my bubble for the first time and I'm in the Midwest where now I'm coming from Canada where it's pretty multicultural. I'm now in a only white place where it's only Jesus, pigs, bacon, wrestling, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so I'm like,
dude, I'm living the same life right now. I'm down in Springfield, Missouri, and it's
shit.
very, very, very similar.
Dude, it's fucking a different world, right? So
Imagine
I'm going down there, I'm
from
like,
Vancouver down to the Midwest. It's a big adjustment. I get it.
same kind of thing, brother. You
Yeah.
get it then. You're just like, that's a little strange. Where's all the black people? Where's all the Asian people? Where is everybody?
Yeah.
And especially how much they hate LGBTQ with people that are indoctrinated with that garbage. And so that started to wake me up to things. When Trump got elected, that was like, wow, all these interesting things happening. But then I came home one summer and my girlfriend at the time, her good friend came out to be in a same-sex relationship, and both of her parents were doctors and they unfinancially supported her on the spot. And they were obviously paying for her high-level university, her apartment, everything. So all of a sudden she's got to move in with her new girlfriend. She's got to work 2 jobs and go to school. I'm just like this girl that we walk our dogs with, like, she's the sweetest human in the world. Like, it made my brain time out of like, my mom would never do that to me. I'd have to like kill 100 people for my mom to hate me. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is this? And that just opened my eyes up to it. So then it just so happened, as you say with life, dude, Joe, it's just things happen. Things just get brought to you. And that's how I believe everything happens. I'm up in Jersey for their Pride night and I put the tape on my stick for warm up like everybody else. And they're like, you don't have to keep it on, whatever. But I was trying to stay in the show. This was the game, 2 games before I scored my first goal. This is the night of my second goal. So I'm just trying to stay in the show, but like, I care about this too. So I put it on below the knob of my stick and not the blade. So I don't fuck with my tape job. Right.
Yeah.
So I come back in after warm up and everybody's taking it off. And I looked at my stick and I was like, it would take more work to take it off than to just leave it on. And I went back to focusing on the game. And then I had the best game of my life. It was nationally televised in Canada, game winner, blah, blah, blah. And then people are freaking out. I think my phone's blown up after the game because I scored. It's because I have the tape on my stick. And I'm like, holy shit, this is way bigger. I had no idea how big of a thing this was. And Brock McGillis, who's now a great friend, first formerly gay professional hockey, or formerly openly gay professional hockey player, he calls me after and he's like, hey man, so you wore that tape and what's up? And I was like, I'd never spoken to such a confident out gay guy. So he hung up the phone after that and he was like, yeah, that guy's full of shit. He just did that for clicks or something. So I did my work on it. I cared, I read, I learned. And a year later, we talked on the phone when a couple of my teammates were asking, Gabe, what would happen if we had a gay teammate? Would we shower with them, all that? So I got Brock on the phone and we had a discussion about it. And from there, Brock was like, holy shit, okay, you know some shit now. I'm like, yeah, I can actually talk to you and not like shit my pants.
Yeah.
So through that process of just learning it, I learned to not only love myself more, but love others.
That's awesome. Great message.
Really?
I appreciate you talking about that. Yeah.
It's a crazy world, man. Crazy world.
Yeah.
Anybody who's projecting anything other than peace and love out of their mouth, you know that they're just in pain. Like any kind of sliver of negativity. Someone comes on your podcast and just shreds you guys in the comments. Literally just look at them like a sad little boy that's just upset. And he's like, bully people, hurt people. If anything that comes out of your mouth or your body language or anything you do is an expression of what's on the inside. So that's what we're now starting to see with people. So I used to yell at people that were against LGBTQ. You're a bigot, you're wrong. And those things may be true, but that's not going to help them. That's not going to reach them. Because when I was not knowing, if somebody did that to me, I would have said, fuck you, and gotten more homophobic.
Yeah.
You have to have compassion, and doing the work on ourselves, remembering who we are, allows us to be that space for other people. Now I have people come to my podcast or my stream chirping me about homophobic stuff, calling me gay, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, brother, I love you. And they're like, huh? I'm like, bro, you're literally me in a different body, and you got raised to think the gay people are going to hell. And if you don't say you're going to there, you're going to go to hell. I'm like, bro, it's all good, man. And they're like, oh, okay. And then, chips away at people. Love chips away at people. You can't fight fire with fire. You fight with love.
That's awesome. Great message. I
I think that's
definitely agree. That's the
unreal. Yeah,
best way to handle those situations for sure, right?
Not always easy though. Not always
Oh
easy.
yeah.
it
Oh
is.
yeah, it's not.
Yeah, test your will. You got to be patient as well.
Yeah.
That's a tough aspect of it that people don't really talk about, is that you got to want to help everyone. And at some point,
Exactly.
it does become a little more difficult when there's certain aspects of that makes it more challenging, I guess
Yeah,
would be the word.
because you're going through your own shit. Like, what have you guys been through? Give me a little synopsis of what each of you have been through in hockey that's been challenging, because those are the things. We're so wrapped up in our own shit that then we don't have time, and we get shortchanged, or we get pissed off and people act out a different way because you're so worried about your own shit. You got your blinders on. So what is your shit you guys have been with?
For me, I mean, yeah, like played just me and Joe both grew up in the same kind of small town playing, rep hockey. And, once it gets to once it gets to Bantam, it's like your draft year or whatever. And I mean, there's nothing like really official for like Western League draft rankings, but there's a few independent sites. And realistically, I thought I had a pretty good chance of going based on what I saw. I went to like the BC Cup or whatever, which is, I don't know, just like they probably have like the OHL Cup. I think they call it in Ontario.
Yep.
Went to that and like I just felt pretty good. Didn't get drafted, whatever. Got invited to a few camps, and then I went to go try out for like the zone team for minor midget. And I thought I should have been a top 6 forward, and I don't know what it was, but I got cut. And it was like Joe ended up making the team. 2 other of my best friends in the world made the team, and we thought we were all going to be there together.
Oh.
And it was just that I went from thinking I had maybe had a shot to at least play junior A or get a look in the Western League to being like, I'm going to have to go back and play minor hockey in like tier 3, essentially hockey in my small town. And it was just like, it shattered me. Yeah. And that realistically, as far as like my mentality with hockey, I don't think I ever ended up coming back from that. It just folded me, and I never found a way out.
Thanks for sharing that, brother. That's profound, man. There's a lot of kids' stories out there like that. What do you got, Joe?
Okay, so when I was this is after I had finished playing that zone team, that minor midget team. I made the major midget team and ended up, that was the COVID year where my midget experience was second year, get to the playoffs, first round of playoffs, shut down. And then, so essentially I'm thinking, no one's really going to look, they're doing this BCHL bubbles, whatever. No, everyone's going to look at me and be like, okay, we're going to take this kid. Ended up just staying with Fraser Valley for the entire year, which was AAA. Didn't get a call to go to any BCHL camp. And I was just like, I was still thinking to myself, I'm top shit, whatever. End up getting an agent, and we go, we signed in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, which is junior A out there. And this was my first time really moving away from home, handling this stuff myself. My dad's originally from Saskatchewan, so he drove out there with me. We drove to Saskatchewan together, which was, an experience in itself. But we go there, make the team at a camp. I was signed technically, but they don't guarantee you a spot when you're signed, whatever. Made the team at a camp, ended up playing my first 3 games. And at this point, I'm looking around and I'm like, I know I didn't train hard enough. I know I didn't do the things that I needed to do to stay there. And being cut from, I played my first 3 games, and my last game was, I lost all 3 of my games. The game against Humboldt, I went back to back. My first junior game against the Humboldt Broncos at home, we lose. And I'm like, fuck, like I didn't really play that well. We lost 5-3 or whatever. And then second game, we go to Humboldt for their home opener. 18-year-old goalie starting in net, back to back. I've never played back to back really that much in my hockey career. And I was pepper. I had like ridiculous amount. I'm a goalie, by the way. Very mental game. Very, very big mental game. I'm like, fuck, like these guys got BCHLers on their team. They got Western League guys. I just played AAA last year. Like I'm going to get lit up. I let in 3 goals in the first period. on, I think it was like 15, 16 shots. I was like, okay, like, you know what? Not horrible start, but not great. And the coach just comes in. He's like, Kachazlo, you're out. Like, I'm pulling you. Like, you were getting the other goalie and we're going to give him a look. And I'm just like, fuck. Like, I know I'm going to get cut from this team. Like, I know I'm not going to stay. I know I've just blown my shot. And didn't end up happening after that game. I get another look in Battleford, and we end up losing that game 5-3, I think. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm looking at my elite prospects. I'm like, fuck, like I look like shit, basically. And I end up, they call me into the room Monday. Sunday's a day off. Mondays, they call me. Coach is like, yeah, can we have a meeting? And as I'm walking out, I'm like, I see 2 new cars in the parking lot, and it's 2 new goalies coming in. I'm just like, and all the boys are helping them move their shit in, like whatever. I'm just like, writing's on the wall. Like, I'm going to this meeting, and I was just like, I've never cried in front of a coach before. That was the only time I've ever shed a tear in front of my coach. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I going to do? They're like, yeah, we traded you to the Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League or whatever. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go back, and I want to play in BC, like junior A, junior B, whatever at that point. And coach is like, all right, I got a couple good contacts in the KIJHL. Give me a couple of days and I'll make some phone calls. So end up leaving there, and the longest drive by myself I think I've ever done in my life was that was an eye-opening experience at 18 to drive from Saskatchewan all the way back to British Columbia as an 18-year-old. Just got my, I don't know if you know how it works in BC, but I got my N that summer, which is like your novice driving, and you're allowed to drive by yourself. It was scary. I had to do everything myself. My parents were not coming out to save me, and sent me back to Revelstoke. And then at that point I'm like, fuck, like I gotta wake up here. So I go to Revelstoke, which ended up being the best decision of my life.
Yeah,
if it comes to hockey, to be honest. We won the league that year. We played really well, and I never really looked back. I tried to enjoy every second of it from there. As an 18-year-old, I played really well. I developed. I worked my ass off. It was honestly more of a complete program than the SJ offered me. And at that point, I didn't realize that was, the right play. I thought, you know what, I'm getting cut from the SJ and my career is over, like whatever. And then all of a sudden now I play 3 years in Revelstoke, and I get an amazing opportunity and scholarship to come down and play college hockey down here in the US. So I've really grown from that point, but I'll never forget that day, that camp, and that day of going into that room and getting cut. And it definitely changed my career. But my mom always says, if you stayed in Saskatchewan, you would have hated it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would have, dude.
And if you stayed and if you kept, stuck it out, whatever, you would not have gotten to the spot that you're at. Now I have a beautiful girlfriend. I love my university experience. I've been so grateful to be down here. So it's all come full circle for me. That was my low, and then now I'm doing well. I'm having a great time, and that's
look at those two scenarios, right? It's just literally trauma. Like, I mean, we're not in like some third world country where our trauma is war, thank goodness. Yeah. Stuff some crazy shit. Exactly. But like what you went through, Owen, and what you went through, Joe, in your own perspective, right? We can't compare either. You can't compare your journey to my journey to his journey. It's all our own unique perspective. Like, it's crazy how life can take you on twists and turns, but it's all about just remaining remembering who you are and letting life just like weed away what you're not. That's what's happened. All these things happen to you to strip away all the shit that you don't need, the part of you that not. So Owen, where are you at now, brother? After going through that young traumatic experience where it stopped there and you were just like, what the fuck? Like, what happened from there? How did that pain bring new things for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, like the first few days after that, I was just like, where am I going to go? And luckily I ended up, there was a coach from our hometown who I had never actually had coach me before, but I had connections to him coaching another team in the same league, but they were about an hour away from where I lived. And you weren't actually allowed to go play for a different team. Even if you got cut, like you weren't allowed to go, you had to just go back to minor hockey. So we did a little address change and made it work so I could end up going to play there. And that coach, his name is Wes McLeod. He just like really, really revitalized my love for the game and really like, yeah, really, really helped me. And I ended up meeting so many incredible friends on that team that I had grown up playing against, but never got the chance to meet. And I made so many friends that I still have to this day. We had such a tight team. And, they were all kind of from the city. Like the team was mostly based out of Surrey and we're kind of a bit further out in the farmland. So they would all like make fun of me and call me a farmer and all this stuff. But it was like, yeah, it was great. And then I ended up getting to play games with the major midget team, even though I had gotten cut from the other minor midget team. Like, and I got a goal and an assist in my first game with the AAA major midget team. And I was like, this is awesome. Next year, I'm going to be playing AAA major midget. It doesn't matter that I'm not in where I wanted to be initially. And then they brought in a whole new major midget coaching staff next year. And they just, again, same thing. I was like, they took multiple, like I led our team in goals and they took like all these other guys. And I was just like, what am I not doing? And then it came down to like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be the 10th forward out of 11. And then all of a sudden a new kid shows up who came out of nowhere. And apparently he's already got a spot on the team. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be the 11th forward. And then my hometown junior B team got in touch with me. I knew the head coach really well. And he was like, if you're going to be the 11th forward, you might as well do it in junior B. So I ended up doing that. And I played 5 years at junior B in my hometown. I got to be the captain my last year. And it was awesome. Yeah, I absolutely loved how my junior career ended up playing out. But those, again, like the first three years really in junior was just like, like I ended up being like the 15th forward that 16-year-old season. I barely played it all, right? And yeah, so it was a struggle, but by the time I was 19, 20, I really got to kind of change my relationship with hockey again and just enjoy it. And yeah, I had a great time finishing my career, where I started it in junior. And yeah, like looking back now, I don't have any, regrets about the way it all played out. Obviously, I wish I did things differently at a younger age, but at the end of the day, I ended up having an incredible experience, meeting so many awesome people. And it's kind of led me to doing the pod now. And me and Joe are having a good time with this and, getting to talk to cool people like you. It's been pretty awesome. So no regrets, but I definitely could have done some things differently, but it all worked out eventually. Right.
I will say it's shaped who both of us are.
Absolutely.
At this point in life.
Exactly.
100%. So, and that's why you guys are like doing this podcast to let hopefully younger guys listen into this, right? Because man, hockey, you can go to university and not play sports and you're going to learn life lessons. There's no doubt about it. But hockey condenses life experience. Like I tell people in my 8 years of pro, I lived like 50 years of life because it just is a microcosm of life. It's so cutthroat. It's so abrasive to your ego and your identity. It's so good for us, but you have to look at it from that perspective. You look at it a glass half empty, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But if you look at that thing glass half full and you see that hockey is here to help me become a better person. It's not just for me to be a hockey player and get what I want to be happy. Hockey's here to like literally help me be more conscious and be a better person overall. You can't lose, man.
I think if someone listens, if we can influence one person to listen to this podcast and listen to it all the way through, and hopefully they're going through a similar thing and, they see me and Owen and we come out the other side, I think, all right, at this point. So I think, going through all that stuff that I've been through, and, obviously I don't know the mentals of Owen as much as I do myself, but I think, just telling people that everything is going to work out. What, like you said, what comes to you, what was it?
What's for you cannot miss you. It's literally illogical.
Exactly.
It's illogical to think anything differently because what's going to happen is for you. So technically it's all there is. It's everything happens
for you. cannot miss you, and that everything is going to work out the way it's meant to work out. It's, yeah.
So
I
you
love
asked me about God and stuff. So where does that fall into this for you?
Well, God's always had an influence in my life, but not as much as, I don't know. I'd call my family Catholic, but I've never really looked into that myself. More so coming down here, it's kind of reignited that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's guided me a little bit to get to this point. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a devout anything, but I'd say God definitely has an influence in my life, I would say.
Something going on. There's something going on in this reality, right?
Yeah, it's the gears are grinding for sure. I'm on a little bit of a journey right now, coming down here, and new experiences, and my girlfriend's been a big kind of player in that as well. She's kind of set me on the right path as well. So I think and I would not have gotten that opportunity if it wasn't for, if I didn't go to Revelstoke, I wasn't the backup that entire year, and if I didn't grind my entire time there. Funny story is that in the playoffs, I grinded every day. I was a morning skate goalie because I was like the backup or whatever. I didn't
love those guys. That's who I always shot on.
Exactly. Didn't fucking get to play all playoffs. I played one playoff game in the first round. We were gonna sweep this team in the first round. Didn't look. Again, looking on the elite prospects, I didn't get a 900. I was like below a 900 save percentage, and like that was what was on my page for like the next month and a half. But I kept working, and then eventually, in the finals of the league playoffs, game 5, we were going into clinch, and our goalie didn't play as well as I don't know if he was sick or if he didn't play as well as he should have. And I went in the third period after not playing for a month and a half, and that's when I realized, to close it out, that's kind of when I realized, okay, it's what you make it. Like, hockey is what you make it. Life's what you make it. And it's, I got a chance to go in there. I stopped 12 of 12, and I got to throw the gloves. Everyone fucking swarmed me, and Weirzy, I fucking wish Weirzy could have, he's a great guy too. I wish he could have been in net and got to throw in the gloves, because he did all the fucking work. He won. He got the playoff MVP. He was the man, and he was watching from the corner. And I was like, man, I got you. Like, I'm going to do this for you. And that was full circle moment. Going from being cut that year to throwing the gloves and winning the KI was the coolest fucking thing of all time. It was awesome.
And you said in Saskatchewan you knew you didn't put in the work to be ready for
exactly.
that opportunity.
This was me putting in the work, and fucking that was the result. So
kids,
never look back, man.
Kids, you get out what you put in. It's as simple as that. I take that step further of like, yes, you get out what you put in, but try to put it in from the right place. Because I've talked to 3 junior teams now, and my keynote speech to them is play from peace, not for peace. Play from happiness, not for happiness. Of course, we may not realize these things yet that I'm talking about. You got to start your meditation journey. You got to start this path. But the idea is that realize that whatever you think you're going to get isn't going to make you happy. The only thing that's going to make you happy is right here, right now, because the future never comes. Tomorrow never comes. The past doesn't exist. So there's a nice saying that the joy is on the mountainside. It's not when you pick a goal. It's not when you reach a goal. It's in doing the goal. It's who you become in that process. So live your life for the joy on the mountainside, not for getting the scholarship, the girlfriend at school, then getting signed to a contract. No, in the moment, now. That's what it's all about.
I love it.
Well said. Well, Joe,
yeah.
I don't have much else to ask. Curtis, if you have any stories you want to tell, anything else you want to ask or talk about whatsoever, open the floor to you. This has been incredible.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I can
tell it's gonna be good. I'll say that I've never talked about stuff like this, even with my parents or my family, like mentals like that. It's I really hope people. This is probably my favorite episode of all time. Like, this has been
100%, dude.
Absolutely unbelievable.
I appreciate you, boys. I appreciate
almost like a therapy session in the last 45 here, but
hey,
unreal.
But we're all equal. That's the biggest thing.
Exactly.
People are sick and tired of this. Like, I go to the priest and repent, or I got to do this and I got to eat this. And it's like, no, everybody is on their own path. My path isn't better than yours. Your path isn't better than mine. Your path isn't better than some kid in Africa right now or some kid in China. It ain't. any different. It's our human experience. And we can talk about mentals. Like I said, we can talk about the cold plunges, and you can talk about psychotherapy, and you can talk about, I took medication when I got diagnosed with bipolar 2. I did all these things. All these things helped. They helped me get me through. But when you talk about mentals, Joe, where you really want to be is beyond the mind. That's where life gets really fun, because to me, doing all these therapy things and doing all this, like all these little coping techniques, it's like a dog chasing its tail. It's like you can get really good at chasing your tail. Dogs can get good at that. They get on that thing and they fucking spin around. Like, that's all they're doing. They're not going anywhere. So I had a great conversation with my good friend Jordan Bennington the other day, getting ready for the Olympics. And he's getting to this point now where he's taken his mind as far as he's like kind of thinking he can. He's like, Gabe, there's this new frontier, isn't it? I said, you're damn right there is. It's beyond the mind.
Yeah.
That's where peak performance, that's where flow is. Go look at Kobe Bryant saying he meditates every day when he played. Go look into this side of things. That is where you're able to play from peace. And you realize that you're not this body, this mind, your parents, your ex-girlfriend who dumped you. You're not any of these identities. You're this awareness. And when you rest as that, man, that's what we're all looking for. When people want to eat like a big pizza after the game and, oh, I just eat the pizza and I melt into the moment, or I have the big hockey game and I win and the boys threw their gloves and, oh, it was like an out-of-body experience, or when I scored my second goal and my body erupted. We're all looking for that moment. Do you know what that moment really is, though? It literally is when your mind is blank. What do people say, right? At night, they go, hey, how was your sleep last night? And somebody goes, oh, I had all these dreams and I woke up exhausted. Or you ask somebody else, how was your sleep? Oh my God, I had the best sleep ever. I didn't have a single dream. I feel so rested. It was just peace. It's when your mind is off, your nature is revealed as the happiness you are. So that's what people talk about meditation, finding that place beyond thoughts, beyond your mind. It's changing your relationship with your thoughts and mind that allow you to just not have to go do something. Like an addict hitting heroin, they get their mind to shut off and go, oh, I'm at peace. And then the heroin wears off and all their trauma comes back and all their pain, and they got abused as a kid. All that comes back. We're all doing that, whether we play hockey, go to school, or drug addict. It's everybody doing the same shit, trying to feel happy. But you can just feel happy by just being happy, by meditating, by doing this path of looking into yourself. That's what it's all about. That's all everybody's trying to do. So I just say, screw all that other shit and go right to the source. Don't cover the weed up with dirt or a garden gnome, or put a rock in front of it. Pull the fucking weed out and find out who you are and live the life you're supposed to live, man.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
That's what I'll leave everybody with.
Beautiful, I love it, man. Beautiful. Like that. Yeah. Thank you so much for this, giving us almost 2 hours of your time. The detail you went into on not only your playing career, but everything we talked about mostly for the last 45 minutes here, just about the mental side. And yeah, this is
beyond the mind, beyond the mind. Thank you. There we go.
But yeah, man, like thank you so much. This has been all time. And yeah, after, like, I will be reading your book 100%. And we would love to have you on again one day in the future after that book's come out and get into it even more. So thank you. This has been absolutely incredible.
It's been awesome, boys. I appreciate you.
Namaste.
No, hey, there it is, brother. That's how it works. The light flows through me, goes out to you. Next thing you know, you're going, hey, namaste, kid. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Next thing you know, you're having a conversation about it. That's how this thing ripples out, man. Love ripples out. So it takes a certain platform to have someone on like me and have a good time, I think, because you guys are open to these things. You're not closed off. You're willing to explore. So it's a hats off to you guys as well. So I will definitely be back on in the future when you guys got twice as many followers and listeners.
Hell yeah.
And let's clip this shit up too. We can even make this clip right now. Clip it up, get it on social, share it around, kids. Let's go.
100%. We're doing it. Awesome, Kurtis. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brothers.
Having the right people in your corner for life's biggest milestones makes all the difference. Like a friend who's there when you're house hunting or checking out a new ride, State Farm is there too, helping you choose the coverage you need. With a State Farm agent, you know someone is there to help you along the way. And with so many coverage options, it's nice knowing you have help choosing a plan that fits your needs, so you can continue celebrating all of life's milestones. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Did you know 39% of teen drivers admit to texting while driving? Even scarier, those who text are more likely to speed and run red lights. Shockingly, 94% know it's dangerous but do it anyway. As a parent, you can't always be in the car, but you can stay connected to their safety with Greenlight Infinity's driving reports. Monitor their driving habits, see if they're using their phone, speeding, and more. These reports provide real data for meaningful conversations about safety. Plus, with weekly updates, you can track their progress over time. Help keep your teens safe. Sign up for Greenlight Infinity at greenlight.com/podcast.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.